In Botmock, we are now happy to announce support for designing Apple Business chatbots, as well as the ability to prototype and test them. Let's jump right into how to create and how to design an Apple Business chatbot within our editor. So to start out, you have the simple bot says content block, the initial sort of point of contact between the user and a bot. And as you can see, one of the big things is actually it's designed exactly like how it would look in an Apple Business Chat environment. And we're trying to work as hard as we can to get it as close as possible with every different element that you will see. Here are different elements, the content blocks. We have the user says, the user replies, the bot, replies or statements, attachments, time pickers, list pickers, and jump and note blocks are actually available for every different type of platform and are covered in a different type of video, but they are not exclusive to Apple Business Chat. Let's add a user says block quickly. So this is a way to emulate a user response. And as you can see, similar, it's very classic user says, but the big major difference here is actually the design of the chat bubble itself. Next up, let's add another content block. Let's add the attachment. Attachment is quite simple, just a way to upload an image. We'll double tap here. We'll take this image, for example, get it uploaded like so. And as you can see here, you have your classic delays and you can also mark it as a user reply to emulate how that could work as well. We'll hit save there. Next up, we have the time picker and the list picker. So I'll start with the time picker right here. And the time picker is actually a way for you to set up sort of a scheduling feature that Apple Business Chat will have for a lot of their, or rather that they support for a lot of different type of brands and companies who are using them. The time picker, you have quite a bit of options. You can start with an image, of course. So I'm just going to use the generic image again. You have a title, a subtitle, you have a style. You can have it be an icon, small, large. You'll see how that works in a second. An event title, we'll just call it event. Location details, show on map. It gets a little bit, it can get quite comprehensive here. And then you have time slots, which I'll add something along the lines of today's date. So like so, there we go. We have time as well, so I'll do 5:30. Duration, we have duration intervals here. And then you can add as many time slots as you want as well. And then you also have the ability to have a reply message title, subtitle, and image URL. So, and then of course your classic delays and revisions, and it's usually, it's much like a normal content block, just with a lot extra added on here. So, but other than that, we'll save it. And now we'll add a list picker as well. So a list picker is very similar to what you saw with the time picker, just without sort of that time slot feature. Instead here, you just have list, you can add different sections within the list and actually different items as well. So we'll call it list one and item one right here with subtitles as well. And the whole thing can have a subtitle. The whole thing can have its own image as well, which I'll just add a custom image here. And then you can have as many of these sort of list items as you need as well, like so. And then of course you have your reply message, image URL, and subtitle, as well as your delays. We'll hit save here. Let's go back to this like this. As you can see, some of our limitations play a role here. And then finally, we can hit the run button. And now it'll look, as you can see, it's the same look and feel. You can do a little bit more customization in your bot settings, but you'll be able to have a simple way to emulate exactly what it will look like in Apple Business Chat, as well as we'll double click for the time picker here. Let's just pick a random time as I added. Now it's going to move on to the list. Sort of the time picker was the way to move forward. Here's the list. We'll check something off. Oh, but there's that reply again. So we selected something quickly there, but yeah, there's your default reply that comes up as well. And that is how you use Apple Business Chat and how you can design with Apple Business Chat with Botmock.